Welcome. Hey guys, just starting the stream here. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm out here this evening with our Malamute pup Nepente and one of our ambassador wolves. This is a Kutak. She's actually the matriarch animal in our project. She's almost 14, principally Arctic wolf. And we're just setting out here. We're crossing a little road here in a second, and then we'll be one more tiny road and we're into public land. Public land adjoins our property, but we're just going a slightly different direction today. And there's a lot of traffic because we live near a ski resort and everyone's heading home from the hill. Come on. So welcome. Just bear with me for a sec here while I navigate the road and make sure we're in a safe spot. Come on, let's go. Let's cross. Come here, Kiwi. Come on, Kiwi. Let's go this way. There we go. All these people find the back way on Waze thinking it's going to make them faster, and then they end up stuck at stop signs for hours. But that's what they get for thinking they can circumvent traffic. Come on, let's go. Kiwi likes to walk on the road there because there's more evidence of unfamiliar dogs, which she likes to really enforce. But we're going to move in a different direction today to avoid the risk of tourist traffic. So welcome, people. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, what's up, folks? Rather than flip the camera because I got gloves on, I just turned the phone around. Hopefully that works. Usually you guys see me out here in the dark with a headlamp and you can't see me at all. I'm out here a little earlier today. I wanted to have a few minutes in the snow with some actual visibility besides a headlamp for a change. And tonight we've got a Kutak, our matriarch animal in our project. She's principally Arctic wolf, peeing with her leg up like a boy because wolves post no trespassing signs. That's what she's doing right here. They're very territorial animals. The fun fact about a Kutak, besides the fact that we also call her Princess Bitchy Pants because she's very spicy and that her emojis are ghost pepper ice cream. Come on, we're gonna go this way. Is that she is the cousin of the animal actor that plays Ghost for Game of Thrones. So when you see her, what you're seeing is an animal that looks exactly like that. Hey, stay here. We're gonna cross the road here and get into the forest. We live in the forest, but we came out a different gate today, and I just wanted somewhere a little easier to hike because we have all this fresh snow, and I didn't want to do this in snowshoes. Come on. And now we're in a safer space. So welcome, everybody. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, what's up? I'm the executive director and founder of the Tahoe Wolf Center. We're a 501c3 that teaches people about the amazing benefits of having native carnivores, particularly wolves, but also bobcats, weasels, bears, foxes, coyotes particularly, on the landscape and how they help keep ecosystems happy and healthy. And I am doing what I always do in the evening, which is take animals out for what I call a patrol. You guys might call it a walk, but wolves patrol their territory. And so I use wolf terminology for what we do. And obviously one of these animals here is a domestic dog, although Alaskan Malamutes are the most closely related breed of dog, one of the most ancient dogs, and the only breed of dog indigenous to North America as a breed. Nepente! And they look like panda bears. Come here. Nepente, look at me. They're kind of spicy panda bears. Nepente is, just so you understand the size comparison here, Nepente is an 80-pound dog, right? So she's like bigger than most golden retrievers or labs, and look at how small she looks compared to a very tall and skinny Arctic wolf. They actually weigh almost the same, but wolves are very leggy. Arctic wolves in particular are super leggy, and they're really a lot like greyhounds in terms of like how skinny and lanky they are. The males are bigger. So a Kutak weighs about 80 pounds. If you look in my channel, you'll see two of my male animals, Icknick and Nunaryak. And Icknick weighs 150 pounds. Nunaryak is just 10 months old and he already weighs 130. And so you're seeing behaviors that are very similar to what you see your dog do. The difference is mainly intensity and focus, where she's putting scent in the ground and she's spreading the urine that she just produced to expand the range of the scent post she just made. And what I always say is that when dogs are out and they're peeing on stuff, they're basically posting a message that says, hey, Owl's here. They're not trying to claim the territory particularly, unless maybe they're an intact male dog. But wolves are really vigilant about enforcing territorial boundaries in the wild. In fact, they'll kill each other over a line they've created. And so she is enforcing a territorial boundary that she believes is ours. We routinely patrol these areas. And so we have about a 70 square mile zone. And now she's actually trying to head outside of that zone a little bit. And we're not going to do that. So let me talk for a second about something really important that you can do with your dogs. Hey, everybody. So I just published a book called The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And in it, I have a lot of helpful things that you can do to make your life with your dog better. But one of the most important things I talk about, Chewy, we're not going that way. It's amazing how hard she can pull. Chewy, let's go this way. Come on. I'm redirecting. Let's go this way. Come on. Come on. One of the most important things that you can do when you walk your dog is establish a safe zone. And the reason I say that is because if you routinely walk a route and don't let your dog take you places that could be dangerous for the dog, if the dog gets loose, it's way less likely to go in those places. Like, there's a road over there I don't want us to cross. And so we never go that way. It feels out of bounds. And so, maybe she wants to expand the territory when she's with me as, one of the leaders of the family group, and she's feeling confident. But if she was out here alone because she got loose somehow, it's very unlikely that she would want to go in a place that feels unfamiliar, that's possibly hostile territory. She'd be much more likely to stay in an area that she knows she's claimed, that feels like home to her. And she's still trying to go enforce a road, which we're not doing. Hey, come on, we're going this way. Come on, come on. She's very stubborn because she usually leads every walk. Come on, Chewy, come on. So her name is Akutak. This means ice cream in Yupik. All of our animals have First Nations names that are appropriate for the area where the line originates. Her lineage originates from the Nunavut territory. And so the earliest identifiable language there is Yupik. And her name means ice cream in Yupik. So anyway, I've just redirected because I don't want her to explore territory that puts her in a place that potentially is unsafe, which is a road. And even though she's sort of hell-bent on going back that way and is being a little recalcitrant, but now she heard a dog. More likely she's going to want to go enforce, and we'll head in that direction first. Come on, let's go see what that is. Come on, Kiwi. And we are, as the crow flies here, just a quarter mile from our property. And so we can actually hear, I can hear my other wolves that are in the habitat howling because they're sad they got left behind. So, see, we have a lot of people kind of watching now. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Ashley. Genevieve. Finns. Star Viper. Welcome, you guys. The Revenant. I know. I do look a little bit like that dude. I also work with bears a bit. And so, yes, this is my attire, okay? There's a reason why I wear what I wear. Is these animals are very, very rough on you when you're out in the habitat. And because my house is actually inside our wolf habitat, every time I go out the door, I kind of get mauled. And it just saves me a lot of money on clothing to have stuff that's super durable and is well suited for my lifestyle. Hunting attire is the most durable stuff, but I don't wear it when I hunt. I wear it when I wake up in the morning. You'll also notice I got a big pack. Whenever I take an animal out of the habitat, I carry a full survival pack. And the reason for that is, there's two reasons, there's a lot of reasons, but the main reason is if something goes wrong, I have everything with me. I don't have to turn around or call for help. I have every single thing I could need to even track her for days if, God forbid, she got loose somehow and I had to just track her. I'm losing ground if I have to turn around. my best shot is immediate recovery, and immediate recovery means tools. And just so you know, like this rope here, which is easy to handle, is only about 30 to 60 seconds if they chew it at most. And so I carry aircraft cables in the pack. So if something goes wrong, like I get injured and I have to sit still, I can hook them up to something they can't chew through, and we can park for as long as we need to. If you're an EDC guy, you know, everyday carry kind of person, and you want to know a really sophisticated setup, my whole pack breakdown is in my channel. Shows the pack and every piece of equipment I have in it. And I'm always happy to answer questions about EDC for those of you that are into it. Yo, Mike, what's up? So I got a buddy here, Mike, who has a very high content wolf dog that he's done amazing with. And he's talking about, no-go zones. That's a good way to put it, actually. I really like that phrasing, is a no-go zone. And we're talking about where to walk. It's like it's almost time to turn on a headlamp. I was hoping to get more hiking in here before I had to blind you guys with my light. So once again, hey, Oliver the Wolf Guy. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining my live stream. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center and the author of the Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, which you can find on Amazon. And we got Kiwi here eating snow and tearing up the ground. Both normal Arctic wolf behaviors. She is a very intense animal. She's almost 14, but you would never know it by her intensity. She is my spiciest animal by far. She's also the cousin of the animal actor that played Ghost on Game of Thrones. So that you're looking at Ghost, only the girl version. I guarantee you she's spicier than that animal actor. Almost every other professional wolf handler who knows about this animal has secretly confided in me that if they had got this animal, they would have turned her into a sweater. She is really fiery. I mean, she is a difficult to work with animal because she's super intense, which I like intense animals. She is perfect for me. But for most people who want to do movie work or whatever, she'd be a terrible choice because she wants to kill every dog she sees. She loves our puppies. She's the best with puppies. But she has resource guarding issues that will make your head spin. She'll steal a broken hair clip and then she'll defend it like it's the most important thing in the world. She has nipped me every day for 14 years. She's really difficult, but I also love her the most. She's just a astonishingly intense, interesting animal. And you can see, I mean, she's 14 and this is her on a routine patrol. Like she smells an unfamiliar dog and she gets aggro. Right, you? And with her is our Malamute, Nepenthe. Fun story about Nepenthe. We are in the America's Favorite Pet competition with Nepenthe, and she is officially in the quarterfinals. And so if you want to support us, I'll put a link later, and you can vote for Nepenthe as America's Favorite Pet. I think it would be super cool to have the only breed of dog indigenous to North America win America's Favorite Pet. She's also about to be in a children's book, The Little Malamute Raised by Wolves, which is a pro-wolf, anti-bullying story based on her life, because she is a little naughty because her role models are wolves. So, sorry for the breathing. They're making me work a little bit here. What's up, everybody? So if you have questions about what we do, what it's like to handle these guys, what it takes to successfully live and work with them, what you can do if you want to get involved, either in wolves in general or with me, please put a comment and I'll try to answer it here while we enjoy our snowy weather. Finally got some snow on the ground. And once it gets dark, I'm gonna have to flip on a headlamp here and then I won't be able to turn the camera around without blinding you guys. Do I listen to Quasi Cow? I don't know who that is. If there's a link, shoot it to me. I'll for sure check it out if it's interesting. Or just tell me who it is. I'm referring to Jamie here. I don't know what Quasi Cow is. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are new to me and my channel, I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, and yes, I look like a curmudgeonly old mountain man. That's pretty much what I am. I've been living and working with wolves, wolf dogs, and other primitive breeds of dog for about 40 years now. And then the author, oh, better than me, is a wolf long distance call. So she hears the other animals howling in the habitat, and she's letting them know where we are and that we're good. I'm gonna join in too. And the other animals are about a quarter of a mile away in their habitat. And our other animals are just on the other side of this little ridge here, about a quarter mile away. Come on, let's keep going this way. We'll do the loop. So if you want to support us, obviously you can give gifts here in the live stream. But other things you can do that are more tangible for you guys are you could buy my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And by the way, if any of you guys watching this are YouTube, Shopify experts, man, I need a little help. They keep kicking my store off of YouTube, which has some super cool merch. And they keep calling it misrepresentation, which I guess is a very common problem for small, mom and pop shops. And every time I try to fix it, they kick it back and say there's something wrong, and I don't know what it is. So if one of you guys is an expert and wants to lend me a hand or get hired on as a little consultant for a little side gig, I would love the help. I've been going around in a circle for like a month. It goes back up, they take it back down. But if you want to see some cool merch, you can go to oliverthewolfguy.com, and my shop is there. Unfortunately, you can't just click the link in YouTube right now. Ashley, awesome. Yes. Is that a cow? No, these are wolf. It's a wolf and a Malamute here. Yes, the Malamute does have sort of a dairy cow coloration, but she's much smaller. And for those of you that are curious about the size here, the dog, which is the one with the curly tail, of course, weighs about 80 pounds. So that gives you a sort of a gauge. So we live in the Lake Tahoe area. We're up in the Northern California in the mountains. Ordinarily, there'd be about 5 feet of snow on the ground here. It's been a very weird and not very good winter from a snowy mountain skiing perspective here. I like my moose. And these are my small animals. These are my two smallest animals. My males are twice this size almost. My largest male is twice this size. He's 150 pounds. That's the one that's in the nicest wolf video if you check my channel. Well, yeah, we're out here, doing what we usually do, which is what I call a patrol, right? I let my animals out of their habitat and give them an opportunity to post around the area that they would. We have about a 70 square mile terrain. Hey, from Bend, welcome, Kat. Yeah, we patrol about a 70 square mile area, which is kind of representative of like the smallest territory that wild wolves typically hold. Wolf territories depend a lot on availability of food, right? More distributed food, lower prey density, bigger territories. So like the smallest ones are in like Minnesota, where they have very high deer population. And so they don't need to hold as much territory. Obviously easier to hunt in 70 square miles than 2,000. Arctic wolves have the biggest territories. They're thousands of square miles. And that's just because food is scarce in the Arctic. So I would, if the snow was how deep it normally is, I would be wearing MSR Ascent, really high-end snowshoes. And I have like 4 different sizes, depending upon the conditions, how deep and how light the snow is. But today we're only in about a foot to 18 inches, and it's not worth the headache at that point. I just wear hunting boots with some shoe chains. Hey, welcome from Arizona. Nice. Quartzville, gosh, but I bet it's warmer there than it is here. Although I like the cold. You know, one of the reasons why if you're a Game of Thrones fan, why the direwolf sigil is winter is coming, or their words, winter is coming, is that wolves are very unique in the animal kingdom, is that for them, winter is the best time of year. That's when they are the most capable of getting food. And so their survival actually is relatively easier compared to the other animals they hunt. They have huge snow feet, so they float right on top of the snow. There's a lot of animals that starve, and so they get winter kill, easy pickings. And then, of course, their main competitor is grizzly bears. And grizzly bears aren't necessarily great hunters, but they're great at stealing everyone else's lunch. Wolves can't really defend a kill against a grizzly bear if it really wants their lunch. They're kind of the bruisey bullies, but they're asleep in the winter, so wolves keep everything they kill. And so those are all the reasons why the words winter is coming. Hey, welcome, Caitlin. So the white animal is our Arctic wolf. She's an ambassador at the Tahoe Wolf Center, and her name is AQUTAQ. It means ice cream in an ancient language called Yupik. And the Malamute, her name is Nepenthe, Nepenthe. Nepenthe is from Greek mythology. It's a magical elixir to heal your sorrow. And we got her after our last Malamute, my boy Bixby, passed away this spring of natural causes at 14. He died in my house just peacefully, but oh my God, I cry every day. He was my best friend in the whole world. Best dog I'll probably ever have in my life. But Nepenthe is a spectacular heart-healing dog. And she's actually in the quarterfinals for America's favorite pet. And Malamutes are a breed of dog that is special because they're the only breed of dog that is indigenous to North America. They came from here. And they are the closest related to wolves because they're the only breed of dog that's a breed that has recent modern wolf ancestry. All other breeds of dogs come from an ancient, now extinct wolf subspecies. And Malamutes have modern wolf in the line. Got a beautiful night here in the Sierra, so this is our home. And the habitat we have for our animals looks just like this. It's just a big natural habitat because that's what these guys require. Makes me sad when I see wolves or even high content wolf dogs in places that are a little less appropriate for them. They're very hard to keep. For those of you that think that having a pet wolf is something fun, they're terrible pets. Follow my channel, you'll understand. They're really a challenging animal to manage for a lot of reasons. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, gosh. It's really hard when you lose a dog. I say that it leaves a dog-shaped hole in your heart that never heals. I've got a lot of dog-shaped holes in my heart, but some of them are worse than others. And that one was especially tough for me. But he had a great life. I try to remind myself every day, 14 is very old for a giant dog. And, his days were great. I mean, he was happy and healthy up until about 2 weeks before he passed away of kind of a short illness. He just started having organ failure from old age. So we're starting to get into that. I need to turn on the headlamp phase. I'll say hi real quick one more time so you guys can see who I am kind of. Hey, everybody. So I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy, founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center, a 501c3 that focuses on education, advocacy, and science. And my mission is to teach 1 million people why wolves are awesome in my lifetime. So thank you for joining in and letting me do some of my mission tonight. Appreciate it. And I've been working with these animals now for 40 years. And it's been a remarkable experience for me to share my life and learn from these guys. Malamutes are my heart dog. I always have to have a Malamute. They're interesting dogs because they can interact with wolves very safely most of the time. Right now, 2 of the wolves on the property, Sunny and Mooney, are both in season. Wolves only come into season in the winter. And Nepenthe is in a heat cycle also, and so they want to kill her because they think that she's competing for their boyfriends, which they can't get to. And so it's a little complicated at my place right now, trying to make sure nobody gets in a fight. We have everybody separated into 2 different habitats. The spicy girls are together, and then this old lady plus the other boys are together. And then Nepente right now is getting supervised visitation, so neither of the boys decides to make her have puppies, because that ain't happening. So yeah, my life is super complicated. Ordinarily, they can all be together and have a very friendly, fun family dynamic. But we're keeping everybody intact because I'm interested in their behavioral characteristics, and also for future reproduction, because we have some very valuable genetics, our animals. And I want to have a opportunity to build another pack for a fully open to the public wolf center, which is the next phase of my project. And if you want to know more about our nonprofit, go to TahoeWolfCenter.org. Awesome, Mama Bear. Thank you so much. So if you want to support our work, obviously you can donate to the Tahoe Wolf Center, but you could also buy my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, which takes 40 years of my life experience working with wolves and primitive dogs, and it distills it into helpful things that will make your life with your dog better. And all the profits from the book actually go to the nonprofit. And for those of you curious, what does it cost to run a nonprofit for wolves? Well, it's $15 an animal a day just for food. It's $200 an animal a month for insurance. Add, another $1,000 a month for like miscellaneous medical stuff like that. The cost of our habitat is, the current habitat was built more than a decade ago. And those materials cost over $100,000 at the time, so they'd probably be close to $200,000 now. Of course, you got the land, right? The land is $1 million worth of land that we invested years ago to have the right land for them. And we are a tiny nonprofit. Like, you won't see me out there sending 1 million emails or offering plush toys. My wife and I support it largely ourselves, but if anybody wants to help us carry out our mission and help advocate for wolves, boy, they need all the help they can get right now. They're just killing them as fast as they can in the western states, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon, because there's a bunch of anti-science people out there that think that killing wolves is a way to get votes. It's all about votes. It has nothing to do with science. And consequently, wolves are in the crosshairs through no fault of their own in a very unscientific attack. And so we're working hard to turn those tides, but we're fighting a tsunami right now. So any support you want to do, thank you. I really appreciate that, Mama Bear. So TahoeWolfCenter.org. And the 2 other ways you can tangibly support us are The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs on Amazon, Kindle and paperback, hardcover version coming in days. And then we have a merchandise shop that has some really nice, cute stuff, featuring at the moment Icknick, our big male wolf, in a stylized version because he's so handsome. And that is at oliverthewolfguy.com. That's my Shopify store. Dominance. Okay. Yes, I write about that a lot. So here's the deal. And you guys, give me a second here. I got to shorten up these leashes as we get near a road. I'm going to put you in a little chest rig for 1 second here, because Nepente is unruly. So just bear with my glove for a sec here. Nepente, come here. Come here. Got to flip my little carabiner around here and put her on the shorter end of the leash. Gives me more control. Okay, let's talk about dominance. It's a great question. So the whole idea of alpha dominance theory, which is what this was called, is because of a mistake. And let me tell you about the mistake. And if you don't believe me, Google alpha wolf wrong. And you'll see an old guy who, looks like a curmudgeonly old mountain man, because all of us wolf biologists, conservationists, handlers look like this. It's just sort of how you got to survive the work. Is a guy named David Meach. And what happened was, in the 1960s, they were doing research on wolves at the Brookfield Zoo. And they put unrelated wolves together, which is very unnatural. Wolf packs are always families. It's the only way a wolf pack forms, is a male and a female wolf hook up, find territory where they can hold, and they have puppies, and those puppies become their family, which is their pack. So they put unrelated wolves together, and then they watched what happened, and they saw that they fought a lot for who was the boss, and then they formed sort of this pecking order based upon their captivity. And from that, they concluded that there's an alpha, a beta, a theta, an omega, like all these different hierarchies, kind of like military, with rank being enforced through aggression and domination. But that's not how wolf packs operate. And now David Meach has recanted all of that because it's been disastrous, right? It's created decades of bad dog training theory, resulting in dogs being mistreated because there was this idea that you had to be this alpha dominant leader. It's also been super unfortunate for humans because you got people like Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate who are sharing this concept of alpha through domination, alpha through aggression, alpha through subjugation of women and each other. And it's just not true. They're trying to be alpha wolves. Well, an alpha wolf is this. It's a wonderful parent who vigilantly guards their family, will sacrifice their life for their puppies, will give up their food for their puppies, and looks out for their family members. It's a great parent. That's what an alpha is. That is what a true alpha is. And so for me, I mean, think of it this way. Right, I have animals that can kill an elk. I have 150-pound wolves who, in the wild, would be preying on bison, right? 2,000-pound mammals. And I'm a weak human that, the only reason that I can even be out in this weather is because I'm dressed like a, survivalist, right? He could kill me. If I tried to turn that animal over on its back and dominate him to be his boss, he could kill me. That isn't how it works. But as a gentle leader, he looks up to me as dad because I've had him since he was a tiny puppy. And we have an amazing, really nice coexistence. He loves me. I mean, look at the video. I can take something out of his mouth if I have to, right? Because we have that relationship. We have that bond. And so I don't think anybody should be using alpha dominance theory. I talk about it a lot. In fact, I'm actually starting to pitch at TEDx talks about the whole idea that we should understand what real alpha is from wolves and that should inspire. Sorry, we got a car coming at us as we walk on a road here. Let's stop. I always pause for real when there's cars. We're just getting to another trail. All right, good kid. That's cool. She likes to be on the road because that's where other dogs walk and then she can pee on stuff. But I want to inspire a new culture of leadership based upon understanding the real nature of alpha in wolf family groups, which is good parents. And the fun fact is that the breeding female, is technically the most crucial animal in every wolf pack. She's the real brains. The males are a little bit the muscle to protect the family and hold the big game down so that somebody can make a kill. But she weighs 80 pounds. And yet every other animal in the family group looks up to her and is a little afraid of her because mom is boss. So for all you moms out there, when anybody starts to pull this alpha BS with you, just look at them and say, listen, buddy, I was listening to a world-renowned wolf expert and he set us straight. I'm the alpha. And that's really the truth. Hey, need you. What's up? Welcome. Thank you so much. This is one of my big supporters here just joining in. It's amazing how people find my live stream. I'm always stoked about that. So I tried to get out here earlier so y'all could see me without a headlamp. All right, Cooey, we're not doing this. She's, of course, want to be in the street. Hey, nope. Cooey, you do not believe how strong she is. Come on, let's go this way. We're going to go over here. She really loves to be in the road. It's because that's where the other dogs walk. You'll see she wants to do that. I know the alpha bros don't want to hear it because they think they're cool, right? They just think it makes them look cool. The thing is that if you have to tell somebody you're alpha, you're not. you lead by example, not by statement, right? I mean, you know, I'm plenty robust, resilient, a little scary as a human because my lifestyle has made me that way. But I'm also the kindest hearted, most compassionate, you know. I mean, there's movies I don't watch because they make me cry, you know, animal movies. They'll just make me cry. I don't want to watch animals suffer or get killed in gratuitous ways. It's not to say that I don't hunt or support ethical hunting of game species, but not for fun, not for sport, only for food, like a wolf. Come on, hey, come on. We're going to go in the woods. I don't want to be on the road tonight. So yeah, I mean, she's the alpha. Like, unquestionably, if there is such a thing in a wolf family group, you know, alpha is really mom. Come on, mom. And that's really that's the biology of it, right? Everything else is just made up BS by humans to further an agenda or an objective or an insecurity, right? Secure men don't need to do that crap. Secure men don't feel the need to subjugate others. Great leaders lead by example and inspire loyalty. They don't instill it with fear. And it's my hope that I can teach people more about wolves and a little bit about how to be a better human with my talk. Anybody got any more questions? Original study was a bunch of unrelated wolves. Exactly, yes. Brookfield Zoo in the 60s. Look up L. David Meech, M-E-C-H. And again, you can see his video, Alpha Wolf Wrong, on YouTube. And he'll explain the mistake, just like I did, right? I mean, they thought they were doing science, but they were doing science based upon a bad understanding of the topic. And the thing about science is, it gives you the opportunity to change your opinion later, right? Dogma and science are different. Science is a living, breathing field, right? You learn, you revise, you collect data, and you change what you thought you knew based upon new information. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people so invested in this wrong thinking that even when confronted with absolute evidence, they just disregard it. They refuse to hear it because it doesn't serve their agenda, which is super unfortunate. So everybody, for those of you that might have just bounced in here, I'm going to just give you a side view here because my headlamp is terrible bright. I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. Hey, I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. I've spent the last 40 years of my life studying, living with, and working with wolves and teaching the world about them. This evening I'm out here with one of our ambassador wolves, a Kutak here, this white animal. She's principally Arctic wolf. And my dog, who's an Alaskan Malamute, Nepente, who, like all good Malamutes, has been pulling me the whole time. Oh, she's going to scent roll. Something here. What is it? I don't know. I don't want to roll in stinky stuff. Then it comes home with her. All right. Gosh, she's just hell-bent on going to roads today. Cooey, we're not doing that. We're going to cross over. I'm going to make her cross. So part of my routine, step over, Nepente, step over, is to allow my animals to make a lot of their own decisions when we go on patrols, because I think they should have autonomy. But it's a busy time here, and so I'm going to force her to get away from some roads. We'll walk in the woods, which is what I prefer to do. Anyway, come on, let's get up here. Kiwi. So complex packs are really interesting. Obviously, Swampy, you know a lot about wolves. Yeah, breeding male and breeding female, but it's the parents, right? I mean, it's sort of like, you could say that our moms and dads of our families are the alphas, and maybe you have in more primitive times, you might have had a more tribal clan where you had like the elders, like maybe the grandparents are the matriarch and the patriarch of the tribal clan. But typically it's the original pair, right? Even in complex packs, unless you've had generational replacement, right? And for those that are listening to this conversation, because it's fascinating. So, see, typically most wolf packs, wolf families, consist of a breeding pair, offspring from multiple years, because it takes a long time for wolves to mature and learn how to hunt and be able to disperse and form their own family groups. But there are some situations, like in Yellowstone, where food is really abundant, where the landscape supports and provides advantage to what they call complex packs, which may have more than one breeding pair. And so how that can happen sometimes would be, for example, that the first generation of wolves grows up and one of those wolves becomes a lone wolf, which is a disperser. They go out on their own, like going to college, looking to find a opposite sex mate and find a territory of their own. And sometimes, just like with humans, you meet the guy or the girl of your dreams, and then you bring them back home to family and you join the family business. And that's what a complex pack is. And sometimes a complex pack will allow a disperser from another pack to join the family and breed with an eligible male or female from the existing pack. And those form what we call complex packs, which is more than one breeding pair. So it's sort of a complicated conversation. Hey, your girl, Alice. The dark one here is an Alaskan Malamute named Nepenthe, and the white one is an ambassador wolf named Kutak. So when you say dominant surely exists in dogs and wolves, I mean, not in the way that it's being promoted. And the theory of enforcing dominance by aggression in wolf family groups, like if you study feral dogs, right, which is a different phenomenon than free-living wild wolves, you'll find that they form. All our animals are howling. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably a little bit. She's going to howl back, responding to all of them. You want to go see? You want to go check? Well, that's cool. Yeah, she's really something. She's been the prettiest girl I ever saw in my life for 14 years. I always say she's the prettiest girl, but not the nicest. And now they're really singing. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. This is how wolves make long distance calls. And she's letting them know where we are and that we're okay. And you see how it's a very basic, repetitive howl. It's not sort of a long, melodious howl. It's really a quick little message. And now she's turned around. And we may just end up heading back up the same way. She's probably gonna head to the road because that's what she wants to do. Hey, we're not going to the road. We're not. The reason why she wants to walk on the road is because that's where everyone walks dogs. And then she can pee on every spot every other dog peed on to put her no trespassing signs everywhere, because that's what she wants to do, is put up a bunch of no trespassing signs. Hey, Kiwi, we're not. So I think what I want to do, we're going to walk around this little... Let's go this way. Come here. Come on. She doesn't take direction well. I always say wolves are teammates, not inmates. And there's a saying which I really like, which is that lions may be the king of the beast, but you don't see wolves in the circus. It's because wolves are a pain in the ass to work with. There's the reason why there's so few wolves in movies is they're so hard to train for movies, because they'll learn a trick in a second and then they'll decide they want to eat you instead of do the trick. You have to be really mindful of them. You can't boss wolves around. If you try to boss them around, they'll just wait until you're vulnerable and they'll get you. Come Come on. Now we're post holing. Oh, I just crashed because I got tangled in the ropes. Hang on. You guys got me all tangled. Ugh. How often do you get to see a live stream where the person streaming goes down? Probably not that often. I go down a lot though. Okay, back on my feet. Well, that's what it is. I mean, I always say swampy. I always say that dogs post messages, wolves post warnings. Those warnings are territorial boundary markers, and that's a no trespassing sign. And they'll kill each other over no trespassing, right? So, and do wolves howl at the moon? Wolves howl for a lot of reasons. The moon doesn't seem to have much to do with it. Mostly we know that they howl, like just now, to tell each other where they're at, to help identify each other. If there's an emergency, they have howls which will bring everybody in together, like, hey, I'm in trouble, and everybody comes. They sometimes sing just because they feel like singing. Like I've watched her bouncing her howl off of buildings, and they respond to sirens and other animals howling. They broadcast their presence saying, hey, we're here, you know, and that's where they howl loud and clear and a lot to let everybody know that it's a bunch of us. Yes, I know that book. It's a sad book. I, as a person who's worked with and written about wolves for so long, I've unfortunately come to believe that every single wolf story is a sad story. There are no happy wolf stories. There is no happy ending, right? Unfortunately for wolves, I mean, happily ever after is 10 or 12 years and their life is over. You know, their lives can be short but beautiful. Capped wolves maybe being a small exception, but again, then you're not a free animal. I mean, and I would like to think that nobody in the world devotes more of their energy and resources to giving captive animals the best possible existence with the constraint of a fence in their life. And the compromise is they'll always be safe, they'll always be fed, they'll get the best that my human ability and resources can offer to give them the most interesting, fulfilling life I can, but there's a fence. And that I sometimes look at them and tears run down my face because I would rather that there was no need for the work I do. I'd rather that people understood these animals and just left them alone to be, a free wolf on the landscape. And if I can achieve that in my lifetime, that nobody ever needs to have an ambassador wolf again, and that there never needs to be a wolf in a habitat or a cage, that would have been a legacy that's worthwhile. Whew, got a little emotional there, sorry guys. But yeah, that's the whole reason why I do what I do, is so that we understand these guys and just let them do what they're supposed to do, which is keep landscapes healthy. And then I can just have Malamutes, which are way better pets. Wolves are not pets. Dogs have owners, wolves have staff. It's a job most people decide they don't like after a few years. It's this job. It's what I'm doing right now, post-holing and falling down in the snow to take one of them out for a walk. How do I feel about... for the most part, I really despise fur-on clothing. I think it's a stupid accessory. She's got something under the snow here. This is my little hunter. No, I've never had a dog with a prey drive like this Malamute. She's worse than the wolves. Anything moves and she's just after it to kill it. She's very funny. There must have been a small animal moving under the snow. For sure there is. What is it? Where'd it go? So yeah, I mean, when I see Russian folktale, Kat, maybe send me that link. I'd love to see a happy wolf story. Wolf Talker is kind of as happy in a way. It's an amazing animated feature. They did a great job. So leather clothing, I think, is fine because that's a byproduct of human food production. But like these Canada Goose jackets with coyote fur trim are just gross. There's no reason for it. I mean, the one exception is native subsistence hunters who are using every ounce of the animals that they kill, and where there's a purpose for the material. What are you guys doing? They're driving me through like a snow-covered thicket. It's just great. So that, I mean, there's some small exemptions there, but as a fashion accessory, I think it's really gross. And I think that it's enabling an industry that is among the most torturous and cruel and poorly regulated on earth out of the fur trade. Come on, let's go. Right, I mean, a friend of mine right now, they're just rescuing a whole bunch of animals from a wolf fur operation. And the sad thing is that they weren't even wolves, they're wolf dogs. So it's somebody who is killing wolf dog mixes for clothing, for something. I don't even know what that market looks like, but they died and they found over 100 animals in tiny cages, and we're rescuing and rehabilitating those animals, the ones that didn't get electrocuted or shot or however they were killing them. So that's why I'm against that kind of stuff. No, I wear leather. My boots are leather. I mean, they'll chew it up but it's not because it's food. It's just because it's a chew toy. So no, that's not true. You got to beware. If they don't know you and you got dangly stuff like a purse or a bag or earrings, you got to be a little careful. They might want to grab it. The names are the white animal here. Her name is a kutak, which means ice cream, and that's a Yupik name. She's a mostly Arctic animal, one of our ambassador animals. And then the black and white dog here is Nepenthe. She's an Alaskan Malamute. And we're just heading up the road towards where we live now. You can actually see the lights on our fence up there. Fucking pieces of shit. Come on. Leave it. Can I leave my wolves by themselves rather than destroy in the house? No. They would ruin everything. They would open every cupboard. They would tear the refrigerator down. They would have a yard sale if the door was open. They'd take everything out of the house into the habitat and shred it in pieces. You cannot leave them alone in the house. You can't leave them alone in the house for 2 minutes. A kutak here sleeps indoors with me. But if she gets up in the middle of the night, you got to get up and let her out or get her to lay back down. All right, we're approaching our property here. Those of you that have stayed with me, you're going to see something cool here. So if you look on the corner there, you're going to see Noonie. That's Nunaryak. He's my... Here, I'm going to take off my... Hi, Icknick. That's him there. Step on this leash here. These cars aren't respectful of us here. Just slow down a little. There's a Tesla going flying by me. So this is Noonie. And Icknick is alarm barking. He doesn't like something. Wolves don't really bark, but they do alarm. And that's this, it's sort of a clipped bark that they do. You know, we're heading back up to our gate here. Those of you that have been here long enough, you'll get to see me unclip the animals and let them do their thing, and you'll see the males for a second. And then we'll wrap up the stream. But again, for those of you tuning in here, do people try to pet them if they see you walking? No. Sometimes people ask if they can approach, and to be fair, Nunaryak is sometimes kind of sociable and wants to say hi to people. But mostly I try to avoid that when they're out. You know, if something were to go wrong, it'd expose me to liability. If people come to see the animals on my property, they have to sign a release if they want to go in. And so we're very, very cautious because the animal's well-being is at stake on that. All right, so I'm going to put you guys in my little chest thing here for a sec so I can open my gate and release these guys. So... bear with for 1 sec here. That's Noonie's greeting. Noonie is very interesting vocalizations. They're different from any animal I've ever had. Noonie I rescued Noonie. Most of these animals are planned acquisitions from other licensees. Hey guys, come on. You'll see I'm using an airlock here or a lockout so that I can always open one gate and not have the free access to the outside ever. So if for some reason an animal got by me, they never try, but still, you know, if your wolf gets loose, you're in the newspaper. And we're not gonna let that happen. So yeah, we always have a locked gate. We live behind locked gates. And then what I do is I release in here so I can unclip the animals in a secure environment without the other animals climbing on them while they're tied up. And then you'll see a little bit of chaos here as everybody goes to greet a Kutak, the matriarch, because when you come back, the homecoming for the important animals is big, and so we're both going to get kind of mauled here. Come on. There it is. Hi mom, hi mom, hi mom. Here comes Icknick, the big male, to greet her. And ordinarily this would be even crazier because the girls would also mob her too, but we have everybody separated because of breeding season. So here's, my hands are a little slippery. Icknick. So this is my big male. So just again for comparison here, the black and white animal is an Alaskan Malamute who weighs 80 pounds. And she looks like a Shiba Inu next to the wolves here. So that gives you a size comparison. Yeah, well, my animals are timid from that kind of approach. They would just drag me backwards, try to get away from those kind of people. They're not really aggressive towards unfamiliar people. They're more afraid. Noonie can be a little boisterous. As you can see, they're puppies, right? So Nepente just turned a year. Noonie is 10 months, and puppies are puppies. Whereas the grown-ups here, Icknick will be 6 in May, and a Kutak is 14. And then the females that are on the other side of this fence are what we call subadults. They're going to be 2 in April. No, stay away from there. And I have to be a little mindful when I come through here. I'll go here and see the girls real quick. You hear the noise? So that's for me. They're all right. Hey, you got to let me through here. And every gate has to be clipped because they know how to open latches, locks, all that stuff. It's kind of a pain. And I don't want them in the airlock. Hey, stay out. Stay out of the airlock. All right, and they're very aggro right now. So this is Mooney. Her name is Moon, or Takik means moon. Hi, Moon. I call her Moon. I guess there's a whole Moon meme about a dumb wolf, but she's super smart. She's really, really intense. And both of them rolled and stink. I can see on their necks. I'm not going to give either of them a hug right now. Mooney's all got poop on her neck. She rolled in some gross. So this is our habitat. You can't even see the back of it here in the dark. And then it's configured in such a way where, in addition to this segregation, and we have this visual barrier here because that reduces their potential to be mad at each other this time of year. I take that down later. And a lot of the time the whole gate is open. So you'll see we have ornamental iron fence. It's buried in the ground with a big apron, electrified up top, so that if we have tons of snow, I can raise that up and make sure they don't go out. We got this segregation here at the property so that the animals can be managed to the front or the back of the habitat. Normally, when everybody's getting along, the gates are open and they can go wherever they want. And then we have additional secure containment. So this is a kennel that's adjoined to our house. Our sliding glass door is right there. This is an area that we use for puppies. Noonie sleeps in here right now still. We keep close to us since he's a rescue. I really want to bond to him. I didn't get him as early. I got him at like 6-7 weeks old, and that's late for me. I usually get him at days old, and so keeping him close helps me manage that bond. And then if we have like a major weather event, I can put everybody here. If I have an animal that has a medical situation, I can keep them over here. The property has a 12,000-gallon pond that's right there behind that tree with the sign on it. And then in addition, right now, because it's breeding season and we don't want animals to get in a fight between the fence, you'll see that there's See how she's walking along a mesh? And that's the same kind of material they use to keep grizzly bears. Don't do it. Oh, you're so gross right now. Hi, Mooney. Hi, Mooney. You're so gross. I'll kiss you, but I won't hug you. She wants a hug. She wants a hug. Oh, God. Mooney, you're so gross right now. Oh, gosh. Oh, I love you the most. It's true. But see how the brown on her neck there? It's because she rolled in something stinky. Right. And that's sun and moon. It's Sikanik and Takik. And you'll see a little light on their collars. And for those of you that have seen my videos and you're like, they're wearing collars. Yeah, they're ambassador animals, and the collars that they're wearing have a tracking device on them. Oh, Mooney, you're so stinky. Hi, Sonny. Oh, hi, Sonny. Sonny is a really, oh, God. Really weird. Hey, okay, they're competing for me a little bit. Sonny's a really weird kisser. So we use, I can't see a goddamn thing. We use tracking devices made by a company called Phi. You could find them at tryphi.com or Phi Dogs. And they are amazing because they, hi, Moon. They provide location data. They're geofencing. So if the animals are on the wrong side of this fence, I get an alert. Hi, oh, you're cute. You're smelly, but you're cute. You're so smelly because you rolled in something disgusting. But they provide also activity and sleep and intensity data, which means that I can monitor their health. And they have an app. For me, it's like my third ring of defense, right? A tree takes out my fence. I know where they are. I can turn on real-time location, and it gives me the best chance of getting them back fast. And they have a little light you can turn on. Like if I can't figure out where they are in the habitat on the cameras in the dark, I could turn on a little light and helps me locate them. Sunny's got a light on right now for some reason. That's why I mentioned it. I see there's a green light shining on her neck. Mooney. Mooney's really funny because with me, she's like super cute and submissive like this. But then with everybody else, we call her Mooney Badger, the angry weasel. Hi, Mooney Badger. Hi, Mooney Badger. Yeah, she's cute, but she's an angry weasel. Yes, you're the angry weasel. I know. Oh, you're so gross. Maybe I can use a little snow and clean your neck because it's so gross. So disgusting. You're rolled in something so stink. She's so proud of her stink, right? When wolves scent roll, what they do is they try on something they think is interesting, and then they bring it back to the family, and they're like, check out my new perfume. Only it's not perfume we like. Huh, Mooney? Although I do have some stuff that smells like mint that they like, and I'll probably, it's sort of a natural cleaner, and I'll spray some of that, and hopefully she'll scent roll in that, and it'll clean her neck a little bit. Mooney. And of course, the worse she smells, the more she wants to share with me. Don't you? You want to put it on me too. How did I get into all this? Hey, thank you guys. Yeah, we're, it's after dark here. We're, in the nighttime a little bit. So how did I get into this? Yes, I have one Malamute. That's my Mooney's your favorite. Everybody's crazy about Mooney. Sunny, interestingly, Sunny is probably like in general, the most fun animal. She's got a really lighthearted, easygoing personality. She's super athletic. She's social, but she's not going to like leap on a stranger and knock him down, whereas Mooney will knock a person down and maybe hurt him just because he's so big and exuberant. Mooney is super timid with unfamiliar people. Like she's just gone. You can't even see her. She's really wild. And by that, I mean like she's really acts like a wild wolf. She's very, very, very timid with unfamiliar people. But there's something about Mooney's disposition that people find really endearing. She's such an intense, sort of fox-like animal. And if you read my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs, I actually give every single animal's backstory at the beginning of the book called Who's Who in My Personal Zoo. So a little plug for the book there. I promise you, it's a good book. If you're a dog lover and you want to do better by your dog, my 40 years of life experience, these guys has some really cool stuff in it. If you're getting a puppy, please get my book first, especially if you've got another dog and you get a puppy. I promise. If you buy my book and it doesn't make your life, your dog's better, you write to me and I will send you a check for the cost of the book. Like that's how convinced I am it's a good book. How'd I got into it? my family is in the cattle business in Colorado, big ranchers. And so I'm an unlikely kid to like wolves. My mom read me a book, a children's book. You can still find it out of print, called A Wolf of My Own. In the book, features a little girl. It's her birthday, and she wants a wolf. She gets a striped box with holes. She wants a wolf. She gets a puppy. She imagines it's a wolf, and they have wolfy adventures. But I wanted a wolf. My mom should have known better. Very, very pragmatic little boy. I didn't want the ersatz wolf. I wanted a wolf. But I also understood that was not an easily gratified request, but it set me on my life's path. I started reading about wolves and learning about wolves. I figured out that at the time in Colorado, there were a few people that were breeding the subspecies of wolf indigenous to that part of North America because they were afraid they were going to go extinct and they wanted to keep the genetics alive. I was very creative in figuring out who these guys were. And my mom, I just roped my poor mom at my grandparents, my cowboy grandparents were like, what the hell is going on here? There's something wrong. I mean, yeah, it's something really wrong with a cowboy kid who wants to have a wolf, right? Like I was like the exact opposite. I say now that my granddad's been spinning in his grave for so long that he already fell out the other side of the planet. Every time I say the wolf word, he spins, and that's, a million times a day. But, I figured out how these guys were. My mom took me around to meet these crazy old men who I now know, and I even say in my book that my mom was taking me around to meet my future self. And now I'm the man I used to go meet, right? Like living up in the mountains, taking care of wolves. And we all look the same. We're all flannel. I have a really good friend, a fellow by the name of Kent Weber, who runs Mission Wolf in Colorado. When I showed up at Mission Wolf, the whole staff was like, oh my God, you guys are twins, right? It's, the way that evolution and nature shaped wolves to be this, caring for wolves shapes the best of us into what we are, looking like old, bearded, curmudgeonly, camo, flannel mountain men, who can do kind of anything because you got to, right? You got to be innovative to solve the problems that come with these animals, You can't get a work crew on your property very easily when you got this. And Mooney here is reacting to the Malamute. This is aggressive. A lot of people get confused about behavior, but you see how she's got her tail sticking up and she's pacing back and forth. So this is with a tail up like that, this is aggression in a wolf. Like she's like, I want to go get you. And if I could get to you, I'd get you, right? Hey, don't be poking your nose in that. You're going to get zinged. Oh, see, she got it. See how she jumped back? Yep. All right. And I'm going to go back on the other side here and bring everybody in the house here in just a second. Hey, Tanya. My wife's in the house here. Hey, Tanya. Will you call Nepente in the house, please? Because she's in the front, and I'd prefer she's in the house before any of the male wolves mount her and impregnate her. I'm keeping an eye on it to make sure it doesn't happen. She's just 2 days into her estrus cycle. I mean, she's not really fertile yet, but there's mom calling her. And there's Mooney going, see how her fur's all standing up? So this is the stuff we have to manage. Can they be housebroken? Ooh, good question. So I am trying to heal the traumas of the past. Thank you very much, Kat. Okay, so it's a really interesting question. My answer is not reliably, and it's because they are impatient and they will mark. And so what you'll find is that like a kutak will come in the house, she'll eat, she'll go to bed, she'll wake up at 3 a.m. and she wants to go out. And if you don't get to that door at the same time that she's at the door, she'll lift her leg and piss all over the door. And anybody that tells you differently, they're just making up a story. And they'll mark in the house. Like Mooney came in the house earlier today, and where Nepente had been sleeping, she came in, she took a shit right there because she's trying to reclaim the territory. So, there's the sense of right and wrong with these animals is their sense of right and wrong, not the human sense of right and wrong. Right? Hi. Sunny's a weird kisser. She'll put my whole face in her mouth. If I didn't trust her, she could just literally rip my face apart with her jaws. What you want? And she's, but something here smells really good to her. She's doing a funny thing. You can probably hear it. She's sort of clicking her teeth. There's like a popping sound she's making. It's like, oh, that's a lot of teeth. That's a steamy mouth right there. Mooney, Mooney. See how her tail wags fast and her ears go back when I talk to her? Mooney, Sunny. Got a lot of kisses. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that because of my camera, but she literally has my face in her mouth. So wolves, when they greet family members, they want to lick each other's teeth. And so that's what they're doing to me, is they're climbing up on me to get in my teeth and lick my teeth. And now my glasses are completely blurred. All right, so I am going to get out of the weather here. Actually, I'm super resilient to snow. The way I dress, I absolutely... Oh, here's another thing you got to see. Right, so this is my equipment shed, my snowblower and stuff. Notice it's in a cage. It's in a cage because if it's not in a cage, anything that can be ruined will be ruined. The treads on the snowblower, every box, everything that can be chewed. I mean, they'll splinter the handle. Here, I'll show you. Fiberglass shovel. See the red and splinter fiberglass shovel handle. They'll splinter a mahogany hammer handle if they have an opportunity to do so. Our freezers, our freezers are in cages because Sunny discovered she could rip the control panels out of the freezers and get into them that way. And so we had to put cages around all the freezers that are the game freezers that are outside because otherwise they get eaten. Yeah, our house has to be inside the cage, right? We're in the cage to keep the wolves out of the house. Oh, and nope, this is not what I wanted. Now there's going to be, watch, you're going to see aggression here. Hey! Sorry there, guys. I accidentally bumped with my fat thumb. I got huge hands, so when I handle this stuff, occasionally I make that mistake. So I was saying, you saw that when I had to grab her and toss her off the kennel here to get her away from the glass door. Even so, she never had any aggression towards me. It was all directed towards the Malamute that she wants to get. And it's sad because the Malamute and her loved each other so much, and then she went into season, and after that, she just hated the Malamute. And I doubt if that's going to resolve. I'm hoping that we get into spring and the hormones go away, that maybe they'll like each other again. But Malamutes are notoriously female aggressive too, so we'll play that one by ear. But Yeah. So anyhow, for those of you tuning in, haven't seen me before, I'm Oliver the Wolf Guy. I'm the founder and executive director of the Tahoe Wolf Center. Seems like she hates her. They seem like they hate each other. Nepente wants to give back as good as she gets. Unfortunately for Nepente, her bark is writing checks. Her bite probably can't cash with a wolf that's bigger. And we're not going to let that happen anyway. I mean, this is kind of the closest call we've had because I usually have the boys in the back, and so it doesn't matter if they get on the deck. When I came through here, I didn't really think anything of it because Nepente had been out in the front, but I brought her in, and so she was on the other side of the glass door. And hence, you got to see a little excitement there for a second. And Nepente's looking at me out the... I mean, you could just see her. See her. We usually leave this door cracked open a little bit like that, and they pull the curtain out the door and tear the curtain. Like that's just par for the course with us. Is that they'll like reach in with their claw and pull something through the door, even if the door is chained shut. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap it up. For those of you that tuned in and enjoyed the stream, your support is always welcome. You could become a paying subscriber of the channel, and among the other things that you'll enjoy, I will personally send you an actual really wolfy gift that actually cost me more than the membership of the channel by the time I get it out to you guys, but it's kind of cute, and it'll endear us to you for sure, give you a closer connection to the animals. And if you request it, I will send you high-resolution images of the animals you'd like to have, like frameable poster-sized imagery. I send TIFFs that are large files in a Dropbox just for you. So you can join the channel to do that. Buy my book, The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. Everyone's okay. Yeah, there was no contact. They were just through the glass. The Wolf Lover's Guide to Raising Dogs. And if you want some Wolf Guy-inspired merch, which is very high quality and super cute, oliverthewolfguy.com. Thank you, Han. If you want to get involved with wolves, wherever you live, I promise you there is a wolf and wolf dog sanctuary because people get them as pets. They discover they're terrible pets, and there's nowhere for them to go. And so they end up in, if the lucky ones, a lot of them end up dead, but the lucky ones end up in a good sanctuary. There's probably one wherever you live. And they're always looking for volunteers. They're happy to teach you how to help them out. I mean, job one is picking up wolf poop, but you'll learn. You get to be near the animals and you'll learn. And, if you're one of those people that really wants to work with wolves, that's the proving ground to help you decide if it makes sense for you. Because, like I said, it's not a lifestyle that works for everybody. So anyhow, why do they don't bite me? Because I raised them, because I'm not a threat to them. We're family. They don't usually bite family. I mean, every once in a while, somebody's going to nip me for something, but for the most part, wolves are nice to each other. This behavior between my Malamute and my dog is just because it's breeding season, and they're vying for, the black wolf Mooney thinks that Nepente is a threat for a boyfriend, and because she's a dog, not a wolf, there's some conflict there. Thank you, Lumenwood. Appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. You can also find me on TikTok at Oliver the Wolf Guy. And if you want to communicate with me, probably the easiest way is find me on TikTok, send me a direct message. I read every single direct message. I get my content on TikTok is viral. It's getting millions of views. But the DMs get to me. I wish YouTube had a better way. I'm a little concerned about just putting an email address out there because it gets harvested. But if you DM me on TikTok, that's the best way to get in touch with me and communicate with me. And then from there, I can share information that's not public. So feel free to do that. It's at Oliver the Wolf Guy, same as here. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to subscribe to support the channel, however you like. And we will see you on the next one. Howls!